Hello and welcome to Character Unlock 54. That's right, we have managed to make it to 54 episodes without killing ourselves or other people.
The other people, I think, is definitely the bigger deal here.
Yeah. Or other people trying to kill us is another thing.
But yeah.
At least not that we're aware of, anyway. I'm hosting this week as John. Like, you love hearing my voice, Lee. I know you do.
What do you mean you're hosting this week as John? Do you occasionally pretend to be other people?
I try, but it doesn't come through very often. This
week I will be podcasting as Gertrude.
You can be Gertrude if you want. I'm not going to stop you. And with me is Gertrude, apparently.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So, I mean, we're sitting here on an episode that you guys are listening to instead of playing Red Dead Redemption because it was out this morning, having had no chance of playing Red Dead Redemption because, well, it's not out yet for us, and we probably should have considered delaying a week or something just so we could talk about it.
I don't know, man. At least this way, we've got a week and a half between this episode coming out and us recording another episode. One of us may have actually gotten around to turning the fucking thing on between now and then.
It's true. I mean, well, if you really think about it, what was the last game that came out? We couldn't think of it, and then we remembered it was Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So between the last episode and now, we managed to forget Call of Duty came out, having both played it.
Well, this is the worst thing. I rented it, I played it, I sent it back, and that was within about 4 hours of the last episode coming out.
Yep. I mean, I've put a bit more time into it than that, but the fact that it's missing a story kind of ruins everything. But that's more for later. As typical character unlock fashion, we are going to go and completely tangent ourselves multiple times between now and then.
Why not?
So let's start with some news, in which case the news is that Red Dead Redemption's coming out, and that pretty much everyone is focusing entirely on that because it's the biggest game to come out this year, plus it's Red Dead Redemption.
Rockstar have got to sort their shit out, man. Like, they genuinely have to sort their shit out. Did you see all of that 100-hour week bullshit? Yeah, was it last week or the week before? Please tell me you saw that.
I saw people talk about it. I didn't actually watch or look at any of it.
So apparently there was a... excuse me, fucking hell. So apparently there was an interview with, I think it was Vulture. And it was the studio head of Rockstar.
Yeah.
And what he was doing actually is he was talking about how much... how many lines of dialogue there were, how many hours of story there were, and that kind of rolling out details. And just as a flippant comment, like mid conversation, he went, "Yeah, there's been a few 100-hour weeks," and that was it, man. People heard that, picked up that ball, and fucking ran with it, and just the outrage was insane. And I mean, I don't think it was unwarranted, considering Rockstar a few years ago rescued Team Bondi and LA Noire when the cuntbag, and I've forgotten his name, Brendan McNamara, I think.
Yep.
He was a complete douche and worked his people to the ground. And yes, there was this whole thing about how the conditions were like at Team Bondi and how it was fucking terrible, and Rockstar basically came in and saved the day. So for it to come out, even in the most generic and innocent of comments that a couple of people worked 100-hour weeks, that didn't go down well.
It depends entirely on who the people were to do it. I mean, for instance, if it was the head of any part of the game in any kind of way, doing 100-hour weeks, kind of more or less their own fault for doing it. But if you're enforcing the guy who makes the tea do 100-hour week,
well, and this is where it all kind of went wrong. So then there was a follow-up interview with, I want to say, Kotaku. Pretty sure it was with Kotaku. And he said, and I'm not getting the article up, so anybody listening will just have to forgive me. I don't know these people's names. I don't care that much about Rockstar. I don't know these people. But there was the head the studio head, let's say, and I think like the head writer and the head designer, and I think it's like 4 of them. And he said, we worked like 3 100-hour weeks towards the end of production because we just needed to do that to get the game out. No one else was expected to do it. No one else was forced to do it. Anybody else that works extra hours, it's by choice and they're paid for it, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, this still brought up this whole conversation because crunch as a whole is, well, not even as a whole, there's no good crunch. Crunch as a whole is bad. It's an awful way to treat staff. It's an awful working practice, and games is pretty much the only place where it's accepted, which is wrong on so many levels. But then you got this thing where apparently the head guys at Rockstar went to their developers and their designers and you can just go tweet people, tell people, say whatever you want, and just tell them what it's like. And obviously, Twitter was then filled with devs from Rockstar going, "I've never been asked to work a 100-hour week. If I work overtime, it's by choice, and I'm always paid for it." And there's kind of like this whole, it's like North Korea. Like the bosses are going, "You will tell them whatever you want to tell them, but whatever you want to tell them, damn well better be what I want you to tell them."
So you can say anything you like as long as it's positive.
Exactly. You can say whatever you want as long as it's from this script. And I mean, I don't know what to believe. I don't want to say I don't care, because I do care. You and I have worked fucking terrible jobs in the past, but I've never had to work a 100-hour week.
No.
Fuck that.
I barely want to work a 37-hour week sometimes.
Exactly. I barely have to work a 37-hour week most of the time now. But I'm lucky. I have a good job.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to work a 37-hour week because you've worked a 40-hour week the week before. But
exactly.
Still.
I do completely see the irony in saying that my longest day so far this week has been today.
Yeah.
Where I went into work an hour and a half early and left an hour and a half late. But still.
Now you need to tweet out saying that that all of you get paid for all of it, and that you chose to work it.
I wanted to work my 40-hour day. I'm not being forced to say that or this. It's okay. Everything is fine.
Everything is under control.
I think the worst bit about it actually is that, and maybe it is just the 3 or 4 people at Rockstar that work 100-hour days. Yeah. There's one podcast I listened to that brought up this amazing point where someone's gone, anybody that works overtime, it's by choice. But is it?
Yeah, I mean,
is it really?
There's the two sides of it, which is that if you're in a crunch, then maybe you probably are being forced to do overtime, because if you really think about it, if you don't do your job to the extent of which it needs to be done before a certain time frame, you will probably not have that job much longer.
This is exactly it. But it's not just that, it's also like the people you work with. So let's say you're in a team of 5 people and 4 of them decide, it's the best thing for the company. We'll stay back a couple of hours. We'll help get this done. And you go, fuck you, lads. It's 5:30. I'm going home. I've got, dinner to have, a kid to pick up, a wife to look after, or husband. It could be a female developer. I'm not saying,
Or it could be a husband and a male developer.
Yeah. It could be anything. My dog. The house that I'm married to, whatever.
The lampshade that
exactly.
I'm in love with.
That person is not being looked at favourably.
No, the rest of your team will resent you because you disappear off when they're stuck. Even by choice, they will. It does get to a point where you kind of look at it and go, "I did choose to stay behind, but still, it'd be nice if we were all here rather than this guy who decided to not bother turning up." And therefore making it more difficult for us, so we have to do longer hours.
I'll tell you what, mate. That kind of, even if it's, not really there, that kind of even unspoken pressure from people you work with is fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible. A couple of years ago, at my previous job, or our previous job, and we were opening a new school up. Were you there for the opening of the new school?
I wasn't there for the opening, but I
No.
was there to assist with with offering insight
Yeah.
to the head of department on which way we should go for certain certain bits of IT equipment
Oh
that we have
yeah.
chosen.
Oh yeah. So the whole point of opening this school, right? This school was going to open over the summer. So as you do, because it's summer holidays, you've got 6 weeks to get shit done. And we were told blanket, no fucking holiday, no time off, no nothing. So I didn't take any time off. I kept my 6 weeks at work, and I ran 12, 13-hour days most of summer holiday. And I was willing to do this because it was a big job. Everybody was involved. It was fine. I didn't book off my regular time off that I have for my wedding anniversary. I didn't have my birthday off. I didn't have my wife's birthday off. I also had a kid at this point, and I didn't take any time off over the holiday to spend with her. I did this by choice because everybody was pitching in and getting involved. The best bit about that was that we got halfway through August. The boss fucked off on a 3-week holiday because he's a cunt. And
Yep.
my God, I hope he listens to this. He never will. It's nice to hope. I told him to his face he was a dick. It's fine. The school never got open because there were delays in the building and shit like that. So it wasn't IT's fault, but the school didn't open. So the new plan was to open it after October half term. And we were all told we have to be in for every day of the October half term. At which point I went, no. Because I've booked a fucking holiday, an actual holiday. I'm going away for half term. I'm going to go spend some time with my family, the stuff you wouldn't let me do over the summer. And mate, just the pressure I felt under to cancel my holiday and be in work, because everybody else was doing that. Fuck you. But it is so difficult to say. To be honest, the only reason I did say fuck you no was because I was already 9 years into a 10-year tenure and ready to go fuck you, and if you say you have to, I'm likely to burn the school down. I hated that place so much.
So arson aside,
But the point I'm trying to make is,
yeah,
if you respect the people you work for and they respect you, whether or not they force you or try and force you, you feel that pressure. You feel under pressure to be part of the team, to help, and that's just opening a shitty fucking school. God knows what it's like, the pressure these fuckers must be under.
to release a game on release date, because the release date was decided long before the game was even remotely close to finish.
I can't imagine it. I don't think I could handle it, to be honest. It must have been, and if we just assume for a second that everything is optional and, if people wanted to go home, they weren't looked at unfavourably, which I don't believe for a second.
No.
If we assume for a second that's what it's like, it still must have been really fucking tough for those few people that did go, I can't, I've got to go home. I've got to pick up the kid. It must have been awful. I don't envy these people at all. And in a way I feel sorry for Rockstar management, because what should have been a non-story, appeared, just a couple of weeks after Telltale closed their doors after the shit they went through.
Yeah.
And no one working crunch is looked at favourably at the moment. Doesn't matter how fucking groundbreaking your game's going to be.
No, but the project managers are probably sitting there going, well, it wouldn't ever go into a crunch if they actually kept to their schedule.
Yeah,
It's an awful double-edged sword where you look at it and you go, well, there wouldn't be a situation like this where people are having to work unbelievable hours just if they just kept to the fucking schedule they were supplied with at the start. Because, let's be face it, that's just not going to happen.
No. And you've got to feel for these people at some point, because, it's not the devs that make the decision about when this game's coming out. They're told by whoever it is that owns Rockstar. Probably just Rockstar at this point. I don't know. Who owns? Take-Two own Rockstar?
Yeah, Take-Two and Rockstar.
Yeah. So they would have been told, but by Take-Two, you're going out 26th of October. Get it done. You know.
Yeah.
And as is always the way, and it doesn't matter if you're working in video games or in high school IT, shit rolls downhill. And it always fucking will. You know, God knows how many hours QA testers are putting in. Because QA testers are historically treated like absolute dog shit. I would not want to be on that QA team right now. Fuck that.
Nah, that's a job for people who are paid a lot better than I am, or
Well, yeah.
or people who care that much more than I do into that kind of
Yeah.
into playing games.
That's the worst bit though, isn't it? It's a bit like people that write and they're paid in coverage or they're paid in exposure. You know? Exposure don't pay my bills, motherfucker. You know.
No, it's all right. You just take your exposure around to your landlord and just say, "Here you go. Here's some exposure," and then you get arrested.
Yeah. Look how many clicks my article got. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. I promise. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just every time I read about it, I was like, I was in two minds. I didn't know which way to argue about it. I understand why crunch happens. I don't like it. I understand why executives say that. Most executives are cunts. You know, you know. I feel for bottom rung workers. I'm a bottom rung worker. I feel for the shit that these people get. You know, yeah. Let's talk about something nice.
Well, the problem is that it does seem like almost every single news story that comes out of any kind of studio about the working conditions is always going to be negative in every possible way.
I know a lot of like games media kind of bring it up every time a story like this appears, but there really needs to be some kind of fucking union for these people
Yeah.
because they're treated like shit. A lot of them are treated like shit. You know, historically, every time if you Google, you know, and I don't know what you would Google, but if you went hunting for stories about crunch time from any studio, was it? It wasn't Dante's Inferno. It was something else. But it was the EA game that had developers' wives writing into game sites telling them just how bad it is.
Yeah.
You know, these people are doing their dream job and it's being ruined by big companies. But more than that, their fucking family time's being ruined. You know, and back to my example, this is why I ended up just throwing in the fucking towel at my last job. Because I didn't care about me. I cared that I was coming home angry every day and yelling at my wife and kid, it wasn't their fault I was angry. But they're the only people I could do it to without fear of losing my job. You know? And actually, there was that, and the second it made me ill. Like, actually made me ill. That was about the time I went, might have to do something about this.
Yeah.
Because that was maybe the single scariest thing ever, was to be so ill at work that I don't remember going home.
That's definitely the kind of moment when you realize, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm really lucky. I now work in a job that, even on its worst days, I fucking love. You know, and I know not everybody I work with feels like that, but I do. I really enjoy going into work almost every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's frustrating, but that's IT. It's not the job.
No, we're in an industry where you kind of look at it and go, you know what? Shit's gonna be shit on one day, just
Yeah.
because reasons.
Yeah.
That's how computers work. No one will ever work out how to make it so that computers will work 100% of the time by doing the exact same thing every time.
Yeah.
Because you do the exact same thing every time, and then one time out of that 100 times, it'll just go, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do something different today.
That's basically my career wrapped up in 3 sentences.
It's like, oh, you know how I was working yesterday because you did this? Well, even if you do it again this time, fuck you. That's why.
Yeah. It literally is my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
So-
server just says, I'm not going to turn on today. But you turn on for me every day. Yeah, but today I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's like a teenager.
Yeah.
IT's like trying to get a teenager to wake up to go to school in the morning
Yep.
after a night of Fortnite.
So yeah, Rockstar, sort your shit out,
Yeah.
because the worst bit is, mate, in 2 days' time, everyone's going to forget it.
Yeah, no
Eh,
one's going to remember any of the negative stuff that comes out of Red Dead Redemption's past.
Because Red Dead
Like,
Redemption is going to be one of the greatest games ever made, and everybody fucking knows it.
they could actually put in the credits, horses were harmed in the making of this game, and
Yeah,
people still wouldn't care.
we actually had real horse testicles.
Yep. We filmed real horse testicles in both the warm and the snow just to make sure that we got the physics perfect.
Yeah,
Then we killed and ate the horse.
yep. And no one will care because it's Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly. Same as if they were to release Half-Life 3 and to actually create real head crabs
Yeah,
and use them as an experiment on real people. People still wouldn't care because Half-Life 3.
yeah. So, I'm just as guilty. I'm sitting there bitching and moaning about Rockstar and saying they need to sort their shit out. I've already bought Red Dead Redemption 2.
I thought that I'd already paid for it, and then I got a receipt through from Microsoft saying that, oh, by the way, we've taken payment. I was like, oh, fuck, I really could have done without losing £80 right now.
PayPal.
Yeah, I
Oh,
really wish I'd paid. If I paid, I thought that when you do a fucking pre-order on the Xbox, it does takes the money there and then. No, it doesn't do that.
does if you use PayPal.
Yeah, I wish I'd fucking known that when I bought it, because I bought it when I thought, you know what, I don't need this £80 in September when
Yeah.
I was about to get paid in about 5 days, versus right now where I've got another fucking week before payday and I've just lost 80 quid.
Yeah. That sounds like me. Pretty much every day I have to buy something. Not even 80 quid's worth of game, like £2 worth of bottle of milk. Like,
Yep.
I could do without having to buy this. I have
But
no money.
I'm just thinking about it. It's like I've got no money and I've got nothing to eat for breakfast, so I need to go find breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I also need lunch tomorrow.
Yeah. I literally did the same thing today. I was like, oh shit, I've got no lunch for tomorrow. Okay, I've got this. I need to go get some chicken. No, I don't want to buy chicken. I'm not buying chicken. I now have no lunch for tomorrow. This is basically how my evening went. That same conversation over and over again. Literally in a circle. I still have nothing for lunch because there's no chicken.
Yeah. Basically, tomorrow I'm looking at it going, I might go to the Naffy and get myself a bacon roll,
Yeah.
and then have that 2 days in a row at work, and then sacrifice lunch because I won't be hungry if I have it late enough.
Oh,
Unfortunately, tomorrow is also Thursday and therefore push-up day.
oh God. Push-up challenge day. I changed my mind. I hate my job. I'm not going in tomorrow.
You still have to do the push-ups at home, just like Mark has been.
Well, everybody says they're doing it at home. I don't believe them.
Yeah, I don't for a second believe that what's his name's doing them.
No. No, he's really not. Anyway, games. Let's talk more game stuff. Let's talk
Let's
about
talk-
work.
Let's talk about Red Dead Redemption some more, because there is some other stuff that's come out of Red Dead Redemption, like they've released their little app for the map app,
Oh, come on. Really?
the app app.
Is that
Like a
because
fucking-
everybody buys digital now and there's no point in putting a theatre-sized poster folded up inside the Xbox One box?
Pretty much, yeah. So you can get the map on your phone through an app from Rockstar. I don't know if it's available for everyone or if you actually need to pay for the game in order to get the map. I don't know whether they'd lock it behind a paywall, especially when people could just get the map. It's like a character from one of the Martians from Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
And then just stick it online. Red Dead Redemption 2 full map leaked on Eurogamer. It says leaked, but in reality, it's literally you just get the app.
Yeah. Fair enough. As I comes out bloody Friday, I'm not in a rush to read it. Because again, I'll just look at the map and go, "Oh, that's lovely." I can't play it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly how it is. Let's go to the Rockstar Games website because reasons. Please enter your birthday. You know what? Fuck you. I'm not bothering anymore.
It's too much effort to remember my birthday and then tell it to you. Fuck you.
Yeah. So, apart from the map, I seriously, I don't
Stop
actually
saying
know.
app map.
I don't know I don't know how to fucking talk about the because it is on, and I'm pretty sure it's on the Rockstar app,
Yeah.
like the GTA app that was available.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just a map app; it's a companion app.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like the GTA companion app, there's a Red Dead Redemption 2 companion app which contains the map on the app. I'm gonna see how many more times I can say map app.
I was going to see how many times you can say it before you trip over your own tongue.
I,
Again.
uh, is there anything else worth mentioning about any kind of news?
I don't think so, mate. There's been woefully nothing. But the thing is, the Rockstar thing's kind of taken over everything. I don't know. Oh, I think PlayStation are finally going to let you change your name.
Oh yeah,
And I think it's got the same
next
kind
year.
of rules as Xbox as well. So like the first time's free.
First one is free.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
But there is a caveat, and this is amazing. It won't. It's not guaranteed to work with some other games or some older games. Sorry. So I think any game that releases after like April this year is guaranteed to work with. But
But some.
there's
What do you
some.
mean by the games won't work? As in, you will still show up as Mike A's Machine King 90 when you play online games from certain, like
Yeah.
anything on PS3, for instance.
Yeah. So I suppose if I play, I don't know. I hope it. I hope.
Killzone.
Well, yeah, it's a Killzone. Let's hope that they at least get their fucking first party titles working properly. But because Killzone Shadowfall's a 4 or 5 year old game, it's
You'll
not
still show up
guaranteed to
as
work.
Troublemaker
So I'll still show
on
up as XX 360 no scope, smoke weed every day XX
420.5.
420. Your mum. Your mum smokes weed. That's definitely what I'm changing my name to.
Your mum loves these nuts.
Yes, she does. Mate, I don't know what's going on in this house. Your mum has just suddenly become a thing again.
It's always a thing, always everywhere.
Like, it's everywhere. Like, did I tell you about what I did to Maya's phone?
Did you call it your mum?
I did. Because she was borrowing my car to drive down to Devon for a weekend away with her girls.
And she left her phone behind?
No, she. I said I'd pair her phone up to my car for her. So all she had to
Okay.
do was put the music on. So I renamed her phone to Your Mum. So,
So your car says connecting to your mum.
so the car just constantly just says Your Mum all over it. I'm such a fucking child. But the
That's
best
brilliant.
bit, the best bit was she texted me when she got there. She went, "I hate that you've done that, but every time I looked at it, I just yelled your mum back at you, and I knew you couldn't hear me, but I yelled it anyway."
I know enough about your wife and your wife to know that she did exactly that
She
thing.
did exactly. I've said this to people. I'm like, people think this is what we're like just in front of people. No, this is what we're like all the fucking time. It's like a giant carry-on movie I live in. It's fucking yeah. And
I
I
love your
was
wife. She's good people, but she isn't half fucking stupid.
oh, she's fucking amazing. Maya is awesome. But yeah, what was I doing the other day? Oh yeah, so I was podcasting with a guy, and a guy that I've never podcasted with before, and like this dude is the gayest dude I've ever spoken to in my life, and there was no two ways about it. And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely not. He was a lovely dude, and we had a great talk, and it was awesome. But I just, because I'd never spoken to the guy before, I was like in shock. I was like, I wasn't expecting it. So I had my little notepad next to me, and Maya sat there on the other side of the sofa, and I just wrote, "This dude is so gay" on the thing, and showed it to her. And then she went out, but before she went out, she came over and just wrote, "So's your mum," and left.
Yeah.
This is the shit I live with. What were we talking about?
Your mum?
Your mum. I was talking about fucking PlayStation names.
Yes. PlayStation names being changeable to your mum.
Yeah. So apparently, what will happen is that some games it will either stop you from connecting online, or it will just show your old name.
Yeah.
Uh, and then their advice is change your name back. I'm like, but but no.
No, because that costs money.
Yeah, you're going to charge me for that, you motherfuckers.
Well, not only are they going to charge you for that, but I'm assuming there's a limit on how short you're allowed to have the name not available for.
I don't know because Xbox went for years before they started purging names, didn't they?
Exactly. So even if that name was no longer in use, but then again, you would never know if that name was no longer in use
No.
because for a lot of them, it's the gamer tag was created and then just left to rot. Versus ones that may have existed before and then had their name changed.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of always assumed it was what we call a UUID. It's just a unique user ID. It's
Yeah.
just a series of numbers. And for example, 'cause it's basically your name is on a database. So I just assumed it was just a set of numbers, and those numbers would correspond to this bit of text that shows up. But what it actually sounds like is that name is your unique ID,
Yeah.
which is just fucking bizarre. It is maybe the most bizarre way of doing a database ever. I'm not a big database guy, but I know a little bit, and that's strange to me. I, but I sit there going, I mean, I bounce back and forth. I'm like, I'd really like to change my name because while I don't mind my PSN name, it's not something embarrassing like, I don't know, Dragon Penis 32. I, I don't know where that came from. It's just something the first thing that came into my head.
Sure. Sure.
But really, my email is dragonpenis32@hotmail.com.
It's certainly hot something.
Damn straight. Maybe it is a hotmail. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
it's got a
dragon.
dragon penis.
It's a dragon penis. Dragons have fire. They're hot. It's got a penis. It's male. There. See?
Dragon
Logic.
penis is hotmail.
What the fuck is going on this week, man? Anyway. So I don't mind my username. I wouldn't mind changing it. And it would be nice to just change it to something not kind of shit.
Yeah, if you could change all of your usernames and tags across the whole board to Brooker.
I'd be right with that. Because it's
So
basically a nickname.
Yeah.
Well, it is my name. No one fucking calls me Andrew. My
No.
wife doesn't call me Andrew.
No, and it's really awkward at work sometimes because you're still relatively new and people still refer to you as your first name.
Well, work's a weird thing. Work
Yeah.
is just that environment is fucking bizarre. So, but at least people aren't calling me Andy because I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind. I'd quite happily change if I could change all my user IDs to Brooker. I want to change my Twitter ID to just Brooker because that number has followed me around for 20 years. With more fucking tangents. The 411 on the end of my name. So back in the day, you might not. Do you remember WinMX?
No.
No. So WinMX was an old P2P thing. Same time as things like Napster and that kind of shit. So WinMX was a slightly not quite mainstream one for file sharing.
You file sharing hipster.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this was before it was cool, man. I didn't do it ironically. I did it because I wanted to watch Blade, and I couldn't. Anyway, so you had to have a username, and I'm not telling you my username because the username was a fucking loser username.
A loser name, if you will.
It was a loser name, but you had to have 3 numbers at the end of your name. Again, it was like a unique user ID. You needed those numbers for it to work, and if you didn't assign yourself 3 numbers,
It picked them for you.
it would pick them for you. So I didn't want to be, Brooker 333 because it's just. But I mean, there is no nice. I can't make this joke funny. Let's just carry on.
420.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you had and again, this was like 15 years ago. So you had the choices. The cool choices were 187 or 911 or 420, and I was like, fuck all of you. And I just hit 411 for no reason other than I could, and it stuck. From there on, it stuck everything. If I need numbers in a username because Brooker is taken, there. And it's just those same 3 numbers all the time. That's my story.
Okay. It's a good story. You shouldn't tell it very often, though.
I don't. If I told it often, you'd have heard it by now.
True. You're absolutely right. I'd never known about why you are a 411. I just kind of assumed that, well, they were just random numbers that you chose for no reason.
Pretty much. I just needed to choose some numbers for the community I was a part of, and that just happened to be it, because I didn't want to be a douchebag and choose 999, because 911 is cool, but I'm not American, so I'll have the shit 999.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to change my username, but if it's only going to dick me around for doing it, I'm not going to bother. Mine doesn't suck that much.
I would quite like to uniformize all of my known gamer tags around the world.
Well, if you're going to do that, it just means that all of your gamer tags have to be, well, your Nintendo Switch friend code.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that it's this Switch friend code.
Yeah.
Not all Switch friend codes. So if I was to get another Switch, then I'd be fucked.
Yeah. Because it doesn't follow you around, which is fucking ridiculous.
It'd get expensive after a while.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that my Switch friend code is different to my 3DS friend code.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Fucking Nintendo, what are you doing? But they're Nintendo-ifying it is what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
Bunch of penises.
But it'd be nice, obviously, if I was to change my PlayStation account to Long Dong Silver to match the Xbox one.
Fuck's sake.
So I distracted myself then.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Terrible puns.
It's just awful. I don't know how I'm going to edit this episode, man. It's just going to be fucking... It's either going to be about 12 minutes long because I've erased all the shit jokes.
Or it's just going to be just us laughing constantly because of all the shit jokes.
Fuck's sake.
Anyway, so if I was to change for Long Dong Silver, that'd be great. But at the same time, I could quite easily knock my Xbox back down to being Machine King 90 to match up with the PlayStation. And the fact that that was my original gamer tag anyway, before I changed it twice since.
Yeah.
And Long Dong Silver was actually a bet I made with a friend. So we were playing Call of Duty, I think it was Black Ops 1, me and a buddy. And we had a little bet going on whoever died the most would have to change their gamer tag to something. And then I said I bet I could get Long Dong Silver and for him, and he was going to get something else. And then obviously I lost the bet. But he did pay for it, so it was all fine.
Yeah.
And I've grown into liking Long Dong Silver, and lots of other people have comment on my gamer tag. A lot of people like it.
A lot of people like your dong.
Yep, it is long and silver.
Wait, what?
It's like a gold member, only silver because
first loser.
Exactly. Precious metals aside.
Yeah.
Let's maybe we should move on.
It's probably a good idea.
Let's talk about what we've been playing, and seeing as we've already mentioned Call of Duty loosely already so far. Brooks, how did you enjoy Call of Duty so far?
Yes.
Okay then. It's the insight that you give is the reason why we love you.
I know, right? But, okay, I tell you what. I didn't hate my time with Black Ops 4. There were points where I quite enjoyed it. What's interesting to me is that none of those points were blackout mode.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you on that.
I'm not saying blackout mode's bad. I'm
No.
saying I don't think Battle Royale is for me. Uh, I think, right, my biggest problem with blackout mode and Battle Royale mode as a whole, and it's basically the same reason, I think I said this to you the other day, it's the same reason I don't play Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike, is I've got no interest in one and done games. Because I don't have that much time to play. So actually what I need is time to warm up. And I know
Yeah.
it sounds stupid, and some people are listening to this going, oh man, just get good. Fuck you.
You can't get good if you keep dying early because you're not good enough to really play the game because it's been out for a
Yeah,
while and people have done nothing but play Battle Royale games since the beginning of Fortnite and PUBG.
but what I mean is, I don't really play multiplayer games that much. So when I do, what I need a couple of games, a couple of rounds. So just run. I don't care about my KDR. KDR is not a thing for me. I'm 36 fucking years old. I'm a grown up. I don't care what my kill death ratio looks like. I just want to run around and kill some people. But the problem is, in a battle royale game, you can't. You can't. You don't get a chance to warm up. You don't get a chance to be good because the second you die, you're done.
Yep.
And your choices are sit and watch the other 98 people get killed, or leave and join another lobby. Either way, the end result is the same. You jump into another game, and this time maybe you end in 96th instead of 99th. You know, and I'm aware that it means I suck. That's fine. But if I don't mind sucking, but what I do mind is sucking to the point where, oh, I'll just sit, I might as well just die. I don't want to be your cannon fodder. I want to have a bit of a laugh as well. So actually, a couple of hours after I got sick of Blackout, I actually jumped into bog standard TDM, which is something I haven't done in Call of Duty for a long time.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. I had such a laugh. My KDR still sucked. Doesn't matter. Because I died, I just respawned and went again. They've got point capturing modes, which pretty much my bread and butter. You know, it's what I pretty much played exclusively when I played Battlefield. You know, obviously it's faster than Battlefield and all that, but that was fine. And I know I'm in the minority. I know, but I want a fucking story. I want a campaign. I don't care that much about the multiplayer. I played it because I had it. If it hadn't been for Battle Royale, I probably wouldn't have bothered renting it at all. And if it hadn't been for renting it, I wouldn't have had a couple of fun hours on Team Deathmatch. But I want a campaign. And I know that, you know, Activision and Treyarch and all these people, they must have the metrics, they must have the data that says 3% of your audience is playing campaign. Don't waste your fucking time. You know, otherwise they would put a campaign in. If they thought they were actually going to lose money by taking it out, they wouldn't have taken it out. But the fuck? I want a campaign. And what the fuck is Treyarch has got this horrendous obsession with zombies. Why the fuck are there zombies in my goddamn Blackout game?
Yeah.
Mate, I did not expect that one little bit. Landed in this fucking map. Asylum? I think it was
Yeah, the
called.
Asylum is a location on the map.
Landed on this map, ran around, and ended up in a goddamn fist fight with a bunch of zombies because I couldn't find a gun and now they were attacking me.
Yep.
Fuck zombies. So my professional opinion is fuck Black Ops 4. Not really. Actually, and the people that are enjoying it seem to be doing really well. I did say, and I will hold my hands up, and when we first talked about Blackout as a thing, I said I wanted it to do well. I want to see what a AAA company can do with a Battle Royale mode, and they seem to have killed it. Yeah, they seem to have really done well. Most people that are playing it seem to be enjoying it. Yeah, you can hate Call of Duty all you want. I'm not their biggest fan, but fucking hell, if you can AAA mainstreamify Battle Royale, you've done pretty well. Good on them. It's just not for me. How about you, mate? What did you think?
So I'm not going to disagree with you at all on any of the stuff that you've said. I played Blackout, and I openly said to my friends that we were in because we were playing quads because there was four of us, obviously. But we were playing quads on Blackout, and I openly said that I'm not really interested in playing anything else on this. So if you're playing Blackout, I'll come and play. If you're playing something else, I probably won't. So played a couple of games of Blackout, and it's as good as you'd expect it to be. It's a AAA game. It plays smoother than PUBG does by some margin. At least from the last time I played PUBG, but which was quite a while. It was before PUBG 1.
Interestingly enough, I once rode a trolley down a cobbled street, and that was still smoother than PUBG.
Yeah. So we played Blackout, and I'll be honest, the type of gamer that I am, I found locations that have meant that I was in places where no one else would go on the map, and I was finding stuff in places that most people wouldn't go. So, for instance, Nuketown, or Nuketown Island rather, has an underground section. I've never seen anyone in the underground section. I openly said to my friends when we were playing, because after landing in Nuketown, I said, "Hey, look, there's an underground section in here." Most of them just ignored me and run around the top side, picking stuff up while I was running through picking up loads of equipment. And then when I came up to the top and I had an abundance of grenades, medical supplies, a sniper rifle with a decent scope and a grip, and an AR with a decent sight and a grip and a barrel and a new stock, and I was wearing a level 2 body armor. And they were
Yeah,
just looking at me going, "How the fuck have you found all of this stuff?" And I said, "I was in the underground section of Nuketown. It's literally full of crap. There's more stuff down there than I can physically carry."
yeah,
But again, none of them went down there.
fair enough.
And played another game later on where the game got to very, very close range of the map over the Nuketown, with the underground section was a viable option to go and sit in.
Yeah,
And I said to my friend, "I'm going to go sit in the underground section," and I did. We came, I think, second overall, just because the final bit moved to a location. It shrunk the map down, and I couldn't get to inside the bit while staying in the underground bit.
yeah,
It was literally the only reason I couldn't get out of the underground quick enough to get back into the circle.
fair
But
enough.
it was a viable
Yeah,
option right up until that point. And the underground section of Newtown is fucking loaded with stuff, but no one goes down there. Uh, and yes, the zombies in Blackout is fucking infuriating because it uses a lot of fucking ammo. And I
yeah,
mean a lot of ammo to get almost no reward out of it. I don't know what the whole issue with it is, because once you've killed all the zombies and the zombie box opens up and you can pull stuff out of it, it moves to a new location. I
yeah.
don't know if you can do it multiple times and then you can keep taking it, but seeing as the map closes in so quickly, I don't think I've ever seen the box drop in two places inside the circle
No.
soon after each other. It might do. And there might be a point, because it's going to happen. After all, there have been people on PUBG just go and sit on a location to watch something happen
Yeah,
because they decided to do something in the game, and it's just like an entire lobby of people just went and sat and watched something.
yeah,
So at some point there will be a game of Blackout where people just go around and open up the zombie box, and that's all they do, just to see what happens when they open up like 5 of them. See if there is a reward.
yeah,
It'll happen. But my experience of Blackout has been very much the same as yours. Apart from, I mean, I've won a game thanks to playing in quads, and I've also got the achievement for winning a game without getting a kill, again, thanks to quads.
yeah.
But my Blackout experience so far is something like 17 matches played, 1 win, and 6 kills total.
It's about the same as my TDM record, to be fair. Are you still playing it though?
I've played it a couple more. I haven't played Blackout since the first weekend, but I've actually moved on to playing some of the multiplayer.
Okay.
So I played some of the multiplayer. I'm a rank 7.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's a fucking nightmare because you try and play multiplayer and it's just full of people who've played nothing but multiplayer.
Well, and this is kind of that's the bit that kind of makes my point for me, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't compete against people like that in a one death and done game.
No. It with Blackout, the leveling system kind of irrelevant because the leveling system is literally here is every time you level up, you get given something just that's completely aesthetic. You don't earn anything. You don't become better at it by leveling up. You've just got experience of playing the game. With the multiplayer, if you go into a lot, I go into a lobby. Me and there was a team of 6 of us.
Yeah.
None of us are over level 20. And we got put into a lobby against another team of 6 where they were all second or first, and I think there was at least one third prestige.
Bloody
And you
hell.
just look at the lobby and you just go, this isn't exactly fair. We played some domination, which is the standard 3-point capture the flag type job. And we lost a lot. I just couldn't get a groove on for it. And then we moved on to playing some TDM, and I actually did all right with TDM, which is surprising considering I usually suck at when the objective is to kill each other.
Yeah.
But then, from what I remember of the TDM matches we played, is that people don't do the fucking objective.
No.
Everybody treats objective game modes as TDM, and they treat TDM as Campfest.
Yep. Which is pretty much why I don't usually play Call of Duty, because at least when you play team-based stuff in Battlefield, people play like a team. Well, at least they
Yeah.
used to. That's
Yeah.
kind of going down the pan as well.
People are just trying to stick sniper rifles on and try and get the longest fucking kill with a sniper rifle.
This is why I loved Killzone. Everything was team-based, and if you didn't play as a team, you didn't fucking win. There was no two ways about it.
Yeah. But the fact that Call of Duty is every game mode is TDM except for TDM, which is just sit back and let the other team come to us until eventually we win because we just shoot them.
Yeah.
I quite like that there are classes
Yeah.
in the multiplayer. It's kind of interesting to know that as you're playing it, you have to heal yourself whenever you take damage
Yeah.
instead of getting re-healed. That's an interesting element. And the fact that as time progresses, you can press the other shoulder button and you get an offensive or sometimes defensive power.
Yeah.
And then after slightly longer has happened, you get to pull both shoulder buttons and you get a special superpower. Trying to think. I used a character who had trip mines and then a dog.
Oh yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how. Uh, and one of my friends got play of the game, which is what they changed now.
Yeah.
Having
That did make me laugh. I was like, oh fuck's sake, Overwatch is everywhere.
Yeah, bringing out play of the game instead of the final kill cam was quite cool because it was he embraced his inner Dunny and he picked the character with a flamethrower. And the play of the game was him getting 6 kills with the flamethrower.
Highlight of my EGX last year.
Yep. So that was my Call of Duty experience. It's not over for me, fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you sit with it. I mean, I probably won't play it much with Red Dead coming out, but it's a weird one because Red Dead Redemption is going to be one of those, if I've got 3 hours to kill, I can play some horsies.
Yeah.
If I've only got like half an hour, there's no point firing it up.
No.
But at the same time, is there any point firing up Call of Duty for half an hour?
That's probably not to play Blackout.
No. No, and I'm not a fan of playing multiplayer games on my own.
No.
Which makes it go to, if I've only got half an hour to kill, I need another game. FIFA's not the kind of game I can play in half an hour because if I play a game of FIFA and I lose, I want to play another one just so I don't end on a loss.
Yeah.
Which is probably the shit way to doing it. It should be if you play a game of FIFA and you lose, you should turn it off and never touch it until you feel like you can win because you're not tired. But I don't know. Is Forza Horizon the kind of game that I can just shove on for half an hour? Probably not, because well, it takes fucking ages to drive around the map to where it is that your next race is.
Speaking of Forza Horizon, I got a text message today
Okay.
from our mate Lee.
Yeah.
Was it today?
I
No,
don't know.
yesterday. He said, Jono totally lied to you on the last podcast. Horizon 4 has places from all over the UK in it. Fuck John.
Yep. You know, I don't actually know any really of the places that was mentioned that in Forza Horizon 4. Like, I've been to Edinburgh once, whereas Lee can tell you anecdotes around his time spent doing pub crawls in Edinburgh. We were driving down one of the streets of Edinburgh in Forza Horizon, and he said, "Oh yeah, I walk down this street, and at the end of it, there's a statue." So we drove down there, and I said, "This isn't a statue, that's a train," because there was a train on the map. And he says,
Awesome.
"No, no, it's further along." And he says, "Also here, there's like four really nice pubs in a row." And I said, "Okay, great. It's nice that you've got this insight into a random city or in the country." But there are other places around, and apparently there's a section which is actually kind of like London, but I don't know. I've not been to enough locations, and normally when people say, "Oh yeah, London's here," I expect, for cars anyway, I expect them to be a fucking Battersea power station.
Just a traffic jam.
Yeah,
That's driving in London. It's just not really driving.
yeah, and and there's a motorway that leads to Edinburgh.
Excellent. I just thought it just made me laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Scotland and the north of England, even if there are locations that are not in the north of England. I
Yeah.
think I think he mentioned that there's a part of Dorset, but that's
Okay.
pretty much all there is just the north, Dorset, and Scotland.
I'm good. I'm glad I didn't spend much time with Forza Horizon then.
I mean, we playing with Lee on Forza Horizon was actually a lot of fun. Last night we played, and I just could not get my groove on for playing racing games, and I ended up doing really badly, pretty much universally, except for one race where I was leading for a while, and then I made a mistake on every single fucking corner of a lap, and then he passed me on the line, and he
Nice.
was crowing like a motherfucker about it. But I was just could not get my groove on to racing on that. So it was not a good day for me yesterday playing games, and well, it's like everyone gets days like that where it doesn't matter what they do, everything just fucking goes wrong.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But Forza Horizon's definitely a lot more enjoyable to play with someone. So
Yeah, I got bored and uninstalled it. Pretty sharpish.
yeah, yeah, I'm assuming you still got Game Pass.
Oh yeah, I saw a Game Pass. So if I decide to play it again, I can download the 60 gig that it is.
So if you want to play it at some point next month, now's the time to start.
Yeah, pretty much. No, not with this fucking shit Sky Wireless. It ain't. Fucking
That's why I said okay.
cut
So
out
if you
every
want to
3 days. I have to restart the download every other day.
But it's another one of those, as you're playing it, your level goes up and you don't even realize how much you've leveled up. So when I started playing with Lee on Monday, I think it was he was at level 12, possibly a 10. He's now in his 20s,
Nice.
and we've only played it for a couple of hours together. I think I was a level 30 something the last time I looked, and now I'm over 50.
Nice.
So the leveling does go up pretty quickly, and it's not, it's another one of those like playing Destiny. It's not the game that you're enjoying, it's the company you've got playing.
Yeah.
So just driving around chatting to Lee. So when he starts up a race, he'd just say, because he was the party leader, so he got to pick all of the races, and he would just say the class of the cars that we're in, and the type of the cars that we were racing in, and then his class of the car that he chose,
Yeah.
and then I try and do the best I could to match up to it, because I've got cars from pretty much every car type, and in various classes,
Yeah.
because I've played the game a fair amount, and the game literally gifts you cars constantly. plus the fact that it gives you money at such a fast rate that I can't spend it quick enough.
Fair
I've
enough.
I've got all the cars that I really want. I've got the 2008 Subaru WRX, and I've got a 2008 Dodge Viper.
Yeah.
I don't really need anything else.
No.
Oh, I've also got a 97 Land Rover Defender for if we do off-road stuff.
Nice.
So there isn't really much else there. Plus the cars that you've been gifted, plus the barn finds that you get gifted,
Yeah.
plus all of the DLC cars you get gifted. So I've got more cars than I can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
So I've got something for every possible scenario. I even have a 2015 Ford Mustang 5 litre with a V10 engine in it because I have upgrades.
Yeah.
And that thing is rowdy as fuck.
Of course it is.
But going from a rear-wheel drive car of that into one of the cars that Lee had that he bought off the marketplace, so it was something that someone had sold him, so it was fully upgraded.
Yeah.
Moving from a V10 Mustang that's rear-wheel drive to an all-wheel drive Lotus Exige that was an S1 or S2 class.
Yeah.
It was quite the change to go from a car that would actually go around corners and slide into a car that would not turn a fucking corner because of oversteer. Understeer, sorry. But
Walls.
yeah,
I find all the walls, and I
yeah,
have to admit, I was quite grateful that some of the walls you could drive through,
yeah,
and then I found myself less grateful because I kept driving through walls and ending up in fields.
yep.
Whereas I preferred to hit a wall and let the wall then do the steering for me.
Burnout style or Need for
Yeah,
Speed style.
exactly.
But you don't get that, and the problem with it being more issues I'm having with Forza Horizon is the fact that all of the races have checkpoint markers.
Yep.
Obviously, to prevent you from taking shortcuts that you probably shouldn't be taking, but the fact that if you miss a checkpoint marker of about 2 car lanes width, if you miss one of those, you get put back before the checkpoint marker.
Yep.
Or you can press the rewind button, which makes it much harder,
Yep.
especially if you're playing in multiplayer mode. So it's like if you miss a checkpoint, you're instantly last place.
Yeah.
Kind of feel a bit half cheated about that, especially with the number of checkpoints that show up. So you'll be driving along and suddenly you've got like 6 checkpoints in a row because they decide to add like 4 corners into the track. But because the checkpoints are in such shitty locations, you go through one at a bit of a shitty angle and you will go flying past the next one and you've got no way of getting back onto the track in time to before you miss the check before you get put back onto the track.
Yeah.
Versus regular Forza where you're driving around and if you go for launching yourself off the track because you're a bit of an idiot, you've got to then get yourself back onto the track.
Yep.
Surely that's a better option.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just drive perfectly in a straight line and try and skip a massive section of the track because most of the tracks, or rather most of the sprint races, the roads don't really intersect that often. You start off on one side of the map, you can drive to the other as the crow flies if you really wanted to. Probably wouldn't get there any quicker because there's probably some kind of fucking lake in the way.
And that, my friend, is why I prefer Need for Speed.
It's why I tend to prefer sim races. And it's the wrong level of arcade to sim.
Yeah. See, the problem with sim races for me, right, is apart from the insane amount of shit you have to do to your car to win a race, is the first couple of hours you play, especially Forza. Like Forza was really bad for this, although the last GT was as well. Is you're playing a racing game, it feels like you're going so slow.
Yeah.
Like, because you've been stuck in a, I don't know, VW Beetle race. You're chugging along at about 3.5 miles an hour. Doopy 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 doo. Well, this isn't a race. We're all driving the same car. This is just a stroll. I don't like, and the amount of time it takes, or by the time it gets to a point where it actually feels like you're driving a fast car, or it feels like you might have to struggle a bit to stay on the road, I've already gotten bored.
Yep.
And this is why I don't play sim races. But actually, I found with Forza Horizon, or Forza Horizon 4, sorry, I found I was having that same experience. I picked my first car, whatever it was, I don't remember.
Like an Audi TT, probably.
Do I have a Focus?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not being funny, I've driven a Focus RS, and they're pretty fucking nippy. And they feel like they're pretty nippy. Unfortunately, what I was playing on my Xbox did not feel pretty nippy. It felt like I was pushing a wheelbarrow around.
Yep.
I don't know, mate. It's just, I know racing games aren't for me, but this one really wasn't for me.
Yeah. One of my mates said that the reason he's not picking up Forza Horizon, despite being a massive racing game fan, is because he said that it caters to the controller too much.
Yeah,
You can't play Horizon with a steering wheel. Well, you can, but apparently it doesn't benefit you in any way. And my thinking of that is because it's all set on road
yeah,
and not on track. So no, you don't probably benefit because you're driving along roads which are unique in some ways. A lot of them are you're doing a race on this road and it's going to take you along here to go to this location somewhere in the distance that you don't know about, where you don't really have any experience of how you get around. With a track game, you will do 50 laps of the same thing. You know exactly where your braking points are at all times because you've done it another 49 times beforehand.
yeah,
The Forza problem, and this is going to go across all Forza games with what you said about sim racers, and the same with GT, is that it's not that you'll get slow cars, it's that you get road cars constantly.
yeah,
Racing with racing cars across the board. So, for instance, Project Cars was mostly racing cars as opposed to just like road cars that on tracks. It's different because you're driving around in cars that are designed to be driven around on circuits.
yeah,
So you're not driving the shitty Focus RS that feels like you're pushing a wheelbarrow around instead of the real life version. Because the real life version is fucking rapid.
yeah,
I mean, I've got my VXR Astra. It feels fucking amazing to drive. If I decide to be a bit of a dick when coming out of a corner, it fucking fights me back, and I love it for that. In playing Forza, if I was to do the exact same car, if I was to put my foot down, I suddenly wouldn't be able to turn because the power would just go into the front wheels and I'd get horrendous understeer
yeah,
rather than the front end trying to desperately grab grip and spin the tires a little bit.
yeah,
But that's the difference between driving a real car and driving a simulation of a real car when it's not really the same.
no, of course it's not. This, for me, the amount of money it costs to buy a racing game, personally, I'd be better up suited taking that money and spending it on an experience day.
Yeah.
I'd get much more fun out of it.
Oh yeah, you build yourself a PC that's powerful enough to do well. When we went to Eurogamer last year,
Yeah,
and myself and Danny sat in that racing seat, the VR racing seat. How much did that cost? 16 grand.
yeah,
The high power PC, the high, the really powerful monitor, the
yeah,
Vive kit, the fucking seat that moved, and the wheel, plus all of the racing gear that was there.
yeah,
16 grand's worth of kit to play essentially Gran Turismo.
yep.
Or I think it was Project Cars that was actually on
I
display.
think it was Project Cars, yeah, or Project Cars 2.
Yeah, so playing Project Cars 2 in a 16 grand racing seat
No,
simulation.
I'm good. I'll take that 16 grand and buy a car.
That 16 grand could buy you a pretty decent performance car.
Yeah,
Well, not really a performance car, but that's a decent deposit on a fucking Focus RS.
yep. Oh yeah. And yeah, for me, racing games are just one of those times where, in reality, the real world I prefer. And I'm fine with that. No, not racing games aren't for me.
Yeah. I think racing games used to be for me. I used to love playing racing games, and I still do, but I don't know. I don't have enough time to throw into playing one game, and racing games do feel like a kind of way of burning a lot of time to get nowhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Red Dead Redemption can get me out of a bit of a gaming funk that I feel like I might be in just by thinking about it.
Yeah, um, the problem with Red Dead Redemption is it's gonna. I've said this a dozen times.
It's an 80-hour game.
It's an 80-hour game. I haven't got fucking time. I certainly don't have time at the moment. I'm in the middle of several projects, and I look at my calendar and I go, oh well, maybe I can squeeze in 3 or 4 hours on Saturday, and I'm like, well, that's great. 3 or 4 hours of Call of Duty or Tomb Raider or pretty much anything would be great. 3 or 4 hours of Red Dead Redemption, I'm not going to see the fucking title screen.
No. Three or
What?
4 hours, you will have unlocked one horse, and
Yeah,
it'll be the slowest horse.
and I'll maybe do a bit of farming.
And you'll have a gun, and you can maybe shoot some person.
Yeah, and my big fear for Red Dead Redemption, because I did this with the first one, is that I'll get 4 or 5 hours in. Some of the mechanics will be explained to me. Oh yeah, this is great, and then I get busy, and it's a week before I can play it again, and now I've forgotten how Deadeye works.
Yeah,
This is no good because now I'm handicapped. Yeah, I don't know. I want to play Red Dead Redemption. I'm desperate, and I hope I get a few hours to play at the weekend. But I just know that I'll get like 6 or 8 hours. I'm like, well, that's not going to be enough.
yeah. 6 or 8 hours is enough time to play almost any game. But something the size of Red Dead, 6 to 8 hours, it's not anywhere near enough,
No.
especially if you're not going to be able to play it for a fair amount of time afterwards.
And basically, what it's going to have to be, it's going to have to be that game where I play it for like 10 hours over the weekend if I'm lucky, and then for the next 2 weeks, every time I get half an hour or so, just pick up the controller and do something.
See
You
what
know?
you can do. See if there's a collectible nearby, or
Yeah.
see if there's like, because there's going to be collectibles. There's going to be little tiny little boxes to collect from,
Oh yeah,
like
it's going to
little
be
silver
herbs to
boxes,
find and yeah.
and animals to skin,
Yeah,
and people to tell that it's just like you taught me, Pa.
exactly. So I'm gonna that's going to be how I play. Basically, how I played Origins at the beginning of the year was like I'll just play a little bit now, and well, I mean Origins and Far Cry basically turned into every time I switched the game on and Nikita was around, I'd have to choose what horse I was riding or what clothes I would wear before I was allowed to play. And at which point I'm like, well, now I've got 10 minutes. Now what the fuck do I do? But I think that's just going to have to be it. It's going to have to be that game that gets played in the background and basically level myself up, and then when I get another 2 or 3 hour stint, go and do a story mission and hope that I haven't forgotten the previous 10 hours.
Yeah, or the actual story
Yeah,
at all in any way, because you fire it up and you'll be like, wait, am I playing as good honor or bad honor?
yeah. I just, I don't, I don't want to be bitching about Red Dead anymore. I just want to play it, and I need. What if I get signed off of work sick or something?
Yeah, technically it's 5 days of free holiday.
Yeah, but you got to do that. Kind of go and have an interview, and on return, and I can't just phone up on Monday and say, yeah, I'm not well. I won't be until next Monday. I have to phone up every day and pretend to be ill. I can't do it. As much as I want to play Red Dead Redemption, I can't do it. I never have been able to do it. Pulling a sickie's never been something I can do. No, I wouldn't enjoy my game. I'd feel guilty for pulling a sickie. How shit is that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If as far as I'm concerned, if I'm too sick to work, then I'm too sick to play video games.
This is a big problem, actually. Another fucking tangent. But if I am actually genuinely ill, I if I put my Xbox on, I I stick it to offline mode. I don't want people to think that I'm pulling a sickie, and I don't think anybody ever would think I'm pulling a sickie because I
I,
don't like
I don't think
ever.
I don't think that you've probably not got anyone on your fucking friends list that would notice that you're playing on a sickie,
No,
because the only people who would see that you were online can't actually and would care from work can't see that you're even on fucking line.
no. But you know what I mean? I sit there and go, what if they see me? What if they think I'm pulling a sickie? What if I walk into work tomorrow because I feel better and I don't look like I was ill yesterday? Mate, I'm such a fucking mess. This is why I just go into work when I'm ill, because no one will fucking believe me. I done my back in a few months ago. You know, I had the Thursday off of work, and I was in fucking agony on the Friday. Still went into work, and they're like, well, "Why are you in?" I said, "Because it's Friday." No one believes people are sick on a Friday, so I just went
Yeah.
into work.
You're not wrong. I mean, there's been multiple occasions where people have been phoned in sick saying, "Oh yeah, I can't come in, I'm ill," and then mysteriously they've got leave the following day or the following. But
Yeah.
one of the chaps on the service desk, didn't come into work today because he had a migraine. He's actually on leave tomorrow and Friday.
Oh, fuck off.
But I've got obviously you kind of look at it and go, "Yeah, that dude's clearly faking it." But
But you're not allowed to say that.
one, you're not allowed to say that, but and two, I know the guy. He doesn't seem like he's the sort of person would go, "Oh shit, I need to take an extra day off because I'm on leave
Yeah.
and I don't feel like going into work." And besides, a fucking migraine? Yeah, I wouldn't want to fucking go into work if
No.
I had a migraine.
No. And to be fair, if I had a migraine, I wouldn't have the fucking Xbox on either.
No,
Oh, Jesus. But, dude, we've fucking gone off on a tangent again.
it's what we do best.
Yeah.
We don't do anything but tangents anymore.
This is true. This is very true.
I'm telling you, we need to rename the podcast.
Just character tangent.
The
Tangents unlocked.
Tangents unlocked. Answers on a postcard if you can think of a better name.
Yeah. And if you can find a postcard.
I'm sure there's people on holiday who
Yeah.
can find postcards. Or pulling a sickie. Or they probably come in copies of Red Dead Redemption 2 physical.
Yeah.
Remember that back in the day? You used to get postcards into your fucking game card when you bought the special
yes.
editions.
I've still got my Wolfenstein ones upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
I'd say that's probably us done.
I've got one other game to talk about.
Really?
Just quickly,
You played? Okay.
Because I didn't play it for long. Not because it's crap, but because I just couldn't be asked. I played Cube.
What is Cube?
Cube is Q-U-B-E. I believe it stands for something, which just makes me laugh because it's written as a abbreviation, just Q.U.B.E. So it's, hold on, quick understanding of block extrusion. It's
Okay.
It's Portal. It's basically Portal. It's a first-person platform puzzler, where you use your powers to move things around in different directions and get out of rooms.
So like Portal.
Basically. So did you ever play Quantum Conundrum?
That was like a 2D Portal.
No, it was 3D.
Was it?
Yeah, it was still first person. It
Oh.
was, but it changed. Yeah, the puzzles changed depending on the room you're in,
Yeah.
and the type of puzzles changed. But I think Quantum Conundrum was actually written by Kim something, the woman that wrote Portal or directed Portal.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. But the problem with Quantum Conundrum was it was trying to be Portal.
Yeah.
Guess what Cube's problem is?
It's trying to be Portal.
It's trying to be Portal. And I'm not being funny. There is only, okay, it's not only one Portal. There are two Portals, but Portal 1 and 2 are, I think, all of their own. This isn't a game you can replicate. People should stop trying. You know, Cube isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite fun. But the problem was, I sat there going, I'm just playing Portal with a weird glove. And I'm not enjoying this as much as I would actually be if I was playing Portal.
A weird glove.
Yeah, you control the so you basically, excuse me, you basically walk around this bright white space station, and there are blocks around, and some are in walls, and some aren't. And when you go near them, the colour on your glove changes, depending on the colour of the block.
Okay.
And then how it reacts changes depending on what button you press. It's basically the two shoulder buttons, or the two triggers. So let's say, for example, there's a block on a wall, and if you look at it, and your glove changes to that color, and you say pull the left trigger, it comes out a little bit. But if you pull the right trigger, it goes back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, on the most basic level, you have to use these blocks and move them around and things to get out of the room and get into the next puzzle room, exactly like Portal.
Yeah.
And it's okay. But what's frustrating about it is all I can say is it's okay. You know, I enjoyed it for the hour or so I was playing it. If I switch it back on, it will be a surprise because I've got other things I want to play, and I kind of put it on because I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to start something. But then I started that instead. It was a freebie on PS Plus, and we saw last year at EGX Rezzed, Cube 2 was in the Unreal section. Unreal? Yes, it was in the Unreal area at Rezzed this year. So, and I remember looking at it going, this looks really fun. Oh, it's number 2. There must be a number 1. And then, like 3 months later, number 1 hits PlayStation Plus. I was like, oh, fucking result. I'll have that. I'm glad I got it for free. I think I would have been annoyed if I'd paid for it. But then again, maybe if I'd paid for it, I'd be more interested in continuing because I'd paid for it.
Maybe.
But this is the beauty of PlayStation Plus. I don't have to care about it because I didn't pay for it. There you go. Now I'm done.
Cool.
Literally, I just want to cram all my games in because I know next episode I'm going to have nothing to talk about because I ain't going to have time to play fucking anything because I'm so busy.
And you'll be able to talk about how you've not played Red Dead Redemption.
Pretty much like we have for almost all of this episode.
Yeah.
Except this time Red Dead Redemption will be out.
Yeah, so it will actually feel even worse because you're trying to talk about a game that everyone else is talking about, and we need to get an episode out based on Red Dead Redemption. But we can't talk about it because neither of us have managed to start it because we've been too busy playing other things.
So let me ask, what's
not
worse?
playing other things.
To record an episode in 2 Wednesdays' time where we sit there and go, oh, yeah, well, Red Dead Redemption looks nice, but haven't switched it on yet. Just been too busy. Or, Red Dead Redemption is amazing. I've played it for 45 minutes and ridden one horse 3 miles and shot someone who killed me.
Or I started a fight with some guy and now his entire family wants me dead.
Yeah.
But I killed all of them except for the children.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that evil.
So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
It's a problem for future Brooker and future John.
Yes, it is. But yeah, now I think we're all done, mate.
Awesome. What do we have recommendations-wise?
I have no fucking idea.
Cube?
I don't think Cube's on PlayStation Plus anymore. I think I got it a couple of months ago, and I just left it installed for a while. I don't know what's about. I honestly, I've got no idea. Oh, actually, I do. Wolfenstein: The New Order has just gone on to Game Pass.
Ah, cool.
Wolfenstein: The New Order is a shitload of fun. Go play Wolfenstein: The New Order.
No.
It's great.
I don't have Game Pass, so I can't really. Anyway.
But it's Bethesda. I know you love Bethesda games.
I do. They are my favourite of all developers, stroke publishers.
I know, that's why you've played Doom like 3 times.
Yep, in every possible way of playing Doom, I've played it. And I bought it every time myself.
Exactly.
As well.
There you go, there's my recommendation, is Wolfenstein on Game Pass. I fucking love Game Pass. It's just given me like hundreds of extra games I can recommend.
To not play.
To not play.
Recommend them, but not play.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to recommend... It's going to be a really weird one, but I'm going to recommend the beta for Football Manager 19, which is technically only available if you pay to buy Football Manager, but you can cancel your pre-order, like with every other fucking game that releases a beta as part of its fucking game.
I have found the great, because you know a lot of these companies now, if you pre-order, they have a thing that says, if you pre-order this just to get the beta, you will not be allowed to cancel your order. I've come across a few companies that do that. So I have found the perfect thing to do, and it's even better because it's a company I fucking despise. So
Don't pre-order it.
go to Shop 2. Go to Shop2Net,
Yeah.
add your bank card, pre-order the game, get your beta code, and then remove your... Because it will warn you, it will say, you cannot cancel if you activate your beta code. You will be charged for the game. Yeah, they make it sound quite scary.
Remove
Then,
your bank card so they
remove
can't
your...
charge you.
Well, remove your bank card, it automatically cancels the pre-order.
Nice.
Fuck Shop2Net. All of them. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, so the Football Manager 19 beta has gone live. So if you pre-order the game, you can get access to the beta. You can then cancel your pre-order if you don't want to keep playing it. I don't think your game saves travel over from the beta. Actually, they might, but I can't remember. It's a weird scenario. I think it's either the game save doesn't transfer over, or, well, there's the other option which it does, but you're missing some features between the beta and the actual game.
Yeah. Fair enough. So have you played the beta then?
I have. It actually plays quite well.
Cool.
It's the biggest. This is the biggest upgrade between 2 years in Football Manager games.
Yeah.
Normally, each year is not that much of an upgrade, and you usually have to go 2 or 3 years before it's worth picking up another one.
Yeah.
But 19 to 18 is actually a pretty decent upgrade.
Okay.
Well, 18 to 19 rather.
Fair enough. I know somebody that plays Football Manager that isn't you.
Is it me?
No. It's Steve from Foul Critics.
Okay, yeah. If he's not played 19 yet, or if the last Football Manager game that he's got wasn't in the last couple of years, then yeah, normal advice still applies, and that you should always go for one every couple of years, just because usually if you've played enough of it, you get kind of invested into this play that you're in.
Yeah.
So in 18, I'm in 2025.
Yeah.
So I'm quite invested into the game that I'm on. But I still played the beta and cancelled my pre-order.
Fair
Sorry.
enough.
So I just to play the game, and it is very different. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
You know, the whole yes, this time we've got more type scenario.
Yeah.
But it's worth playing.
Fair enough.
If you like Football Manager games, it's worth playing 19, at very least the beta.
Yeah.
But that's us done.
Yes, it is.
So, Brooks, where can people find you
I
between now and, well, probably never, really?
am on Twitter, mate. It's probably the best place to find me. I'm on Twitter at Brooker411, as we discussed earlier with stupid usernames.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm there. I bitch and I rant and that's
Currently
about
at
it.
Sky.
Currently at Sky, because they're stupid router. But I'll tell you what, actually, anybody that listens to this, I would appreciate it if you went and had a read of my Halloween review that I've done. I don't usually pimp out my shit, not like that, but I really, really loved Halloween, the new one, and I was actually, more than that, I was really proud of how my review of it came out, because I don't write that much anymore, which is a shame, but I just don't have fucking time. But I did say, good or bad, I was going to review Halloween, and I was really chuffed with how it came out.
Nice. I'm John_CU on Twitter, and Xbox Live is Long Dong Silver, and probably in the future will be on PlayStation if I can be bothered to change my gamer tag on PlayStation when it goes available.
Yeah.
But if as individuals you don't care about us and you only care about character unlock, then you're probably a smart person. You've got character unlock on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Podbean, YouTube, all the other kinds of places that we put ourselves out on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's us done. So thanks for listening, everyone, and come back in the future once we've got around to Red Dead Redemption 2 for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh
Adulting is
God.
hard.
It is. Being a grown up is a real fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, 2 weeks. Say goodbye, Brooks.
Goodbye, mate. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving Lee the satisfaction. Fuck you.
Poor Lee.